big lifting.
You can hide it. Hello. It's okay. Don't worry. Story of my life. Whatever comes to exactly. I can hear you in the front row.
Kia ora, nau mai, haere mai, good evening, welcome. It's great to see all of you here on this Wednesday evening. It is Wednesday, isn't it? Warren? Yes? The days go by really quickly, but we've got an exciting night for you. I'll just go through a few housekeeping tips after introducing myself. My name is Arun Chaudhary. I have the privilege of being part of the Taranaki Chamber of Commerce team. We have almost our entire team here. You'd have seen them with their name badges, and you'd have seen a lot of exciting people behind me with their name badges. That's the main reason you're here. Housekeeping-wise, we have 3 emergency exits. If you can spot them all, you'll be doing really well. One is the entrance through which you came in. If you're a good hurdler, you should be able to get to that one there over the chairs. And there's one here behind the curtains. Now, for the evening, we have a fantastic MC who is none other than David Stones from Hospitality New Zealand. He is the president of the Taranaki chapter, of the Taranaki branch, and it's the privilege of Taranaki Chamber of Commerce to work together with Hospitality New Zealand to put forward this evening, which is all about how the candidates will be approaching hospitality and business for our district. So would you please put your hands together and welcome your MC for the evening, David Stones.
Thank you, Aaron. Welcome everybody. We've got a few latecomers coming shortly, so they'll just wander in. Kavaji, come on in. Welcome. Hurry. Good stuff. Welcome. Hey, look, we've got a great few weeks ahead of ourselves, some exciting times, and the election fever is certainly upon us, and there's a number of these planned throughout the next few weeks, which is quite exciting. But firstly, I'd like to thank and acknowledge Darren and Anna from the team and the team at the Auto Lodge. They do amazing job, not only for us hospitality in the chamber, but for the community. They're always gifting their time and their venues to help things like tonight. So I'd really like to thank you both for your help and support. Not only tonight, but all the things you do for the community. Well done. Look, welcome, a big welcome to all our current councillors and council hopefuls. We have a massive 32 candidates attending tonight. 28 are standing in the New Plymouth ward, 1 in the North ward, and 3 in the South West ward. We have apologies. We have Rob Needs and Murray Pierce, who are both attending funerals today. Tony Bedford and John Williams, who both have prior commitments. And Colin Johnson, who is standing for the North Ward and who thought none of his voters would be here tonight. And Barbara Whakamahoro, who refused to attend because her campaign is not about money or commerce. So thank you, Barbara. But a big welcome to all the chamber members here tonight and officials, Bara team, and of course all their members that are here, and all the Hospitality Association members that are here tonight. So welcome you all. Look, congratulations to all current and prospective candidates who want to continue to make this district the best in New Zealand. It's not an easy job, and we know that. We expect a lot from our elected officers and officials. We expect quality discussion and decision-making processes. We expect empathy for the community. We expect you to make those hard decisions to grow our community. We expect you to listen and make those business decisions for the benefits for all ratepayers. And the New Plymouth District, of course, is our biggest business. But as business community, we expect you to listen and help grow the strong business community we have. Help with our CBD challenges, help re-energise our business district. We don't want to be treated any differently, but we do expect we don't expect you to do this alone. We're here to help you grow our business as well. But we do want to be treated fairly. Remember, our success in small business helps with community outcomes. This helps all the district. But now it's over to you. It's your turn for us to hear a little bit about yourselves, why you are standing, and the difference you can make to this great place of the New Plymouth district. Look, the format's quite simple. Simple tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Each current councillor, hopeful, will have a maximum of 2 minutes to introduce themselves and enlighten us on what they can do, what are they going to do to our district and to get our votes tonight. Candidates will speak in surname alphabetical order. And Michelle from the chamber is on the bell. God help you if you go over. I've got to say this, you'll get 1 ring on the bell when you have 30 seconds left. And then you'll receive 3 rings on the bell when time is up, or you're just out of here. So we have to obviously keep to a pretty strict timetable, ladies and gentlemen, to make it fair for everyone. We'll have about a 10-minute break after we all have a listen to our candidates and councillors for some drinks and nibbles, and then followed by the break we'll zip into some questions. So those questions to the candidates. So each candidate will be asked 1 question. You have a maximum time of about a minute to answer those questions, ladies and gentlemen. There are 16 questions as we have 32 candidates. Each question will be asked twice. And again, questions will be asked of candidates in the alphabetical order. With so many candidates attending, it is not possible to take questions from the floor, and I do apologise for that. But at the close of the event, we would love you to mix and mingle and answer some of those hard questions over a beer or wine. That's when the real business is done. So we've got a couple of councillors who are in actually a council meeting, so they will be pushed back to the last couple or 3. All right, so look, we might as well get into it, and thank you all again for attending. Right, hello. Yep. Do you see? Okay, right, first up is Colin Bell.
Thank you all for attending. Good evening to everybody. I've lived in this town for about 43 years, so I'm almost a local. Talking about business, I don't have a business orientation. I'm a retired civil engineer. Some of what I say tonight probably won't be particularly well received, but here goes anyway. So my first thought is, and we're talking about tourism and hospitality, my first thought is, can we have too many tourists? And I've already got the answer. I think we can. And I'm not suggesting we've got too many tourists in New Plymouth at the present time, but I think there are parts of New Zealand where there are too many tourists. Tongariro Crossing's one. So, you know, there is a problem with tourism. It's also, it also contributes to the climate crisis, which the whole world is facing, and which I'm pretty keen on in New Plymouth, and I think the council has a role to play in the climate crisis. But getting back to tourism, I don't know to what degree the local governments subsidise tourism, but I suspect it's significant, and I'm not promising that I will support increases in those subsidies if they do exist. The ratepayers have probably got some better things to do with that subsidy if it's substantial. On climate change, we're going to have to go electric basically instead of using a lot of oil and gas. Eventually we're going to have to go electric, and that's not just New Zealand. So I've just about used up my time, but there's a lot more you could say about climate change as well. It is a problem, and thank you for your time.
Sam Bennett.
Good evening, everyone. Sam Bennett has built on 3 foundation blocks. I am built on you, my people. I am built on community safety, and I'm certainly built on respect. Tonight I want to talk to you about what I believe a councillor should be doing. In the last 18 months I have spent some significant time learning the role of a councillor, and I believe I know what that is. A councillor is responsible for corporate governance. They are responsible for financial security and scrutiny and representation. I can't be everything for everyone, but I do know the value that I can bring to you, the people that I want to serve in the future. The value that I will bring is based on 31 years of emergency management experience, and that's what I bring tonight. I've spent 31 years in the fire service, in civil defence and ambulance. So I know that when emergencies happen, we need to keep our community safe. That's you people out here. I want the opportunity to make sound decisions for you to keep you safe in the future. What does that mean? That means that council have an obligation under the Health and Safety Act and regulations. They have obliged to look after you. My skills lie in that, in applying health and safety to you, to the community, to make sure that we keep ourselves safe. I want to make sure that we make informed decisions on Mayor Holdham and the current councillors' vision for next year around our new water supply, our core infrastructure, and in particular building economic partnerships with our government. I'm good at that stuff, and you need me in this role to help drive that forward. Last but certainly not least, I understand governance. I understand this role, and the biggest thing, I can commit the time to it. You make sure, whoever you vote for, that that person has the commitment and time to give to the role, and I have. I'd like to finish by saying that when you elect me, you will elect a person with the skills, passion and empathy to build your district, to build your region. This is your place, it's my home. I'm Sam Bennett, and thank you for your time.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Ko Catherine Blaney, toko ingoa. I ask you to close your eyes and imagine this. Imagine being part of something bigger than yourself, something that leaves a positive legacy. Imagine being involved in something that gives deep meaning to all of the hours put in and is truly a collaboration to grow, improve, and progress our city. What does that look like for you? Well, for me, it looks like being a councillor on the New Plymouth District Council. It looks like connecting with the community and sharing the skills I've developed through my lifetime. I've gained skills from many industries over the last 20 years. I've worked in several government roles with home-based businesses, in small to medium enterprises, as well as large companies. I've also run my own business, working as a digital consultant for businesses in New Plymouth. I'm a problem solver at heart, and I'm good at getting things done. I have a positive attitude and a strong work ethic. And when an idea inspires me, I can make things happen. In 2017, I co-founded nonprofit On the House. They rescue surplus food and distribute it to people in need. I'm a detail-oriented critical thinker, and I'll be bringing an open mind. I believe it's important to be able to say, I learned something that changed my mind, especially when it comes to things that impact the lives of people in our community. I'm not bringing an agenda, and I don't value my opinion over yours. We're all residents here, so we all deserve a say, and we all deserve to live in a thriving community. What you can expect from me is balanced decision-making that takes into account many voices and is based on honesty, fairness, and collaboration. Naku te rauro, no te rauro, ka ora ai te iwi. With my food basket and your food basket, the people will thrive. For me, this means that we're stronger together and that we all have valuable skills and knowledge to share. There's a quote by Eric Liu that I want to leave you with. Democratic hope requires faith, not in a strongman or charismatic savior, but in each other. So please put your faith in each other and contribute your voice to this year's local elections.
Councillor Gordon Brown is still in his meeting, so we'll jump through to Dave Bublitz.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ngā muhina nui. He tino hari kwa ahau. Ki te kōrero, kia koutou e tine wā. Ko David Bublitz taku ingoa, tēnā tātou katoa. Truly is a privilege to be here. My name is David Bublitz, I'm 47 years old, and if the person that did steal my sign is here, I'm sorry, I am married. And I have 2 kids, Matilda 10 and Izzy is 12. I was born and raised here. I went through all my schooling here, and it's a privilege to have been able to do that. And even when I went away, I was at university, I went to Wellington and worked, and I went to London and worked over there. This place was still my home. And when we decided, myself and my wife Sally, that we wanted to start a family, it was pretty easy to make that choice to come back here and get started. So we did. Since I've been back, I've been at New Plymouth Boys High School. I've taught PE there, and more recently, for the last 7 years, I've been the Director of Sport. And my passion in the community is sport. I've been a coach for the past 15 years since I've been back. I've coached Matilda's mini ball team, and I've been involved with the Taranaki Mountaineers for 7 out of the last 10 years as either a coach or assistant coach. And I believe that that's really what brings this community together, is sport, culture and recreation. I think that events that we have in this town are really important, and I think that we must ensure that we keep the events that we've got, and we also need to develop infrastructure that helps attract new events. And this will be one of my main focuses if I am elected to council. Keeping this place moving so our kids and our grandkids can prosper and grow here and be proud to call Taranaki home is what's really important to me.
Anika Carlson.
Annika.
Annika, sorry.
That's okay. Might have to just readjust this for my height. Kia ora everyone, I'm Annika Carlson. I am a born and bred Taranaki girl. Can barely see over this, so hopefully you can see me. A little bit about me, I spent my early 20s working frontline as a New Zealand police officer based in West Auckland. I have 2/3 of a business degree in entrepreneurship, small business management and business law. And for the last 7 years, I've had my own business called Studio Vigor, which is a fitness, health and Pilates business. I've been on the board of the North Taranaki SPCA, and I'm currently a founding board member on Pride Taranaki, which is helping to bring a more supportive and inclusive environment for our LGBTQ+ community here in Taranaki. What drives me to want to be on the New Plymouth District Council? Diversity. I want to see a council that looks like our community. Youth engagement and representation is hugely important to me, and a youth committee on our New Plymouth District Council would be great. The environment is at the forefront of every decision that I make, and I'd like to see a council be brave and bold with the environment in the background of their decisions. Tourism is so underutilised in Taranaki, and I'd like to see more sustainable tourism opportunities explored here. Better communication is needed between the council and the community, and I think we've seen that in regards to the stadium issue. I'll leave that one there. And last but not least, mental health in Taranaki is dire. It is a crisis, and I think we as a community need to stand up and do something about it together. I believe I have the drive, the stamina and the heart for council. I'm honest, hardworking and am open-minded, and it would be an absolute privilege to represent you all on council. So this coming election, vote number 1 for Annika Carlson. Thank you for your time.
Amanda.
Tēnā tātou, ko Amanda Clinton-Godis toku ingoa. My name's Amanda Clinton-Godis. I'm standing for New Plymouth District Council because I believe that if we have people on council with fresh perspectives, big hearts and sharp minds, it can really make a difference. because right now in our district we are facing some really significant challenges, whether we like it or not, away from oil and gas. We've got growing social inequality and we've got an increasing need to look after our environment. Over the next 3 years, the bulk of the planning for how we transition our economy is going to happen. I believe we need to be looking at how to revitalise our CBD. We need to be figuring out ways to encourage innovation and diversification of industry. We need to be collaborating to figure out ways to develop more training opportunities for our young people and also for people transitioning across industries. And we need to be doing a better job at promoting our region as an amazing place to visit and to live. To do all of that, we need strong, creative, collaborative leadership. And we need to do it together. I have skills to bring to the table. I'm a lawyer and a scientist. I have experience in the tertiary education sector, in strategy and in equity advice, and also governance in the community sector. That means that I understand how to navigate complex problems. I can read huge reports that most people find eye-watering, pick them to pieces, ask the tricky questions, but also see the big picture. I'm also a people person, a collaborator. I want to work with you to find the solutions to these problems because council alone can't have the best answers. Most of all, I want to be working towards a district that we are all proud of to hand over to our children and to our grandchildren, because your future matters and so does theirs. Thank you.
Councillor Murray John.
Good evening. Well, most of you know who I am, so I don't need to introduce myself that well. But I'm very proud to be your councillor of 6 years and what I've done and how I act in council. And I always said I'd give 3 terms, so hopefully I get a 3rd term in. I'm proud of how I voted on certain issues, and just to name a thing, there's certain things that there's been some contentious issues. The sale of the golf course, Lenlai OPEX cost to the tune of $85,000 a week. The Freedom Campers with no rules, where it turned into a zoo and it was a loss to a lot of our campsites. The original $8 million spend on the hospitality suite, which took businesses away from our own hospitality people. The recent CEO's pay rise, and the Maori ward, and the rising of rates, which are twice as much as inflation. I voted against all of those, and I was the only current councillor running now that did vote against all of those. And the other two that did, or the other 2 or 3 that did, unfortunately are not going to be with us next term. So I personally think you need to vote correctly to make sure we've got some balance in council. The other thing is rates. Now I know some chamber members here, own businesses and rental properties. And some people just pay 2,500 to 3,000 rates. These people pay hundreds of thousands. 30 years ago, our rates was 4% the average income. Now it's 8% the average income. And in another 30 years, based on our rates increases going 2 to 3 times the inflation, it's going to be 20% our average income. Can we afford that? Does that create stress and depression to people? We need to seriously think that, and that's the elephant in the room.
Mike Crowe.
Kia ora. Good evening. My name's Mike Crowe, as you heard. I'm a retired teacher, but I'm still currently relieving at Francis Douglas. I'm standing here for the New Plymouth ward because of my concerns with the fiscal policy of our council. Taranaki has many talented and successful and skilled sports people, many reaching high success. These people come from all different sports codes, not just one. So I ask, why has the New Plymouth District Council, along with the Regional Council, put all its eggs in one basket? The extra burden on our rates, both residential and business, has been a disappointment to most of New Plymouth District Council rates. Yet still the planned alterations to the rugby stadium are going ahead. If I'm elected, I shall try my best to have this revoked. I believe the ratepayer shouldn't have to support one sport. We should be providing services to all. I'd like to see New Plymouth become a motorhome-friendly town. For this to happen, the New Plymouth District Council need a council-owned dump station. There's always the situation that the privately owned ones may be closed. The ongoing issues of freedom camping needs to be revisited and addressed. I see a simple solution: restrict the number of parks, the number of days allowed to stay, and most important, allow only certified self-contained vehicles. And then liaise with the residents, talk with the businesses, solve the problems. Tourism is our future. The airport's leading the way. We need to make welcome all types of tourists and visitors. Thank you.
Kia ora koutou, ko Serafoi Tokaunga. Thank you everyone for coming to listen to us speak tonight. It's a huge honour. I'm Sarah Foy, as they said. I'm a former journalist, and it's fantastic to see the Daily News here tonight. Take lots of photos of me so I can get in the paper. But anyway, I know the value of a good story. What's my beginning, what's my middle, and what's my end as a former journalist. My beginning is working at the Taranaki Daily News for many years, covered lots of issues around the region, interviewed hundreds of people, and learnt to ask the hard questions, to listen to lots of people and understand what goes on in the community. Second chapter of my story is as a mother. 3 children I've raised in New Plymouth with my husband Warwick Foy, 19-year-old, 16-year-old and 12-year-old. Have a fairly good idea of what youth are thinking these days. Know lots about parks, footpaths, roads, safe cycling, all sorts of things that are really important as a mother. Developed lots of really good relationships within the community, been on pretty much every fundraising committee you could be on, lots of fundraising events, know lots about how hard it is for schools and communities, but also what makes a great community, because I've been in the community and I live in a community. Third chapter of my story is working at Tui Ora as a communications advisor. It's a health and wellbeing organisation doing huge amount of work in the region, in touch with lots of mental health issues and social issues, so that's exposed me to lots of the inequities happening in our community, but lots of the solutions that can be held and lots of the ways in which we can do collaboration in a much better way. All through my life, I've had a really strong thread of volunteering. I understand really important things like the importance of digital literacy for communities, for economies, for strong workforces. I understand the need to get really good housing strategy in place. I'd love to see the District Council take a much better vision and oversight in housing. Also like to think more strongly about the challenges of an ageing population. Vote for me, Sarah Foy, number 1 on your list. Thank you for listening tonight.
Bruce Cook.
Kia ora tātou, I'm Bruce Gatwood Cook. Some of you may recognise me with a different face. Hey look, we all want reasonable rates and enjoy the best possible council service, infrastructure and lifestyle we can have for them. To enjoy that, the calibre of the councillors that you elect and the council officers that we employ are really critical. I want to take you back to the millennium. At that time, I was a director of a media company in Auckland that had a focus on tourism with Air New Zealand as a client. We pitched for and won the very first regional tourism contract in Taranaki, and we formed Destination Taranaki. As a New Plymouth-born person, this was fantastic, as now I was coming back to Taranaki regularly. But Auckland people would often ask me, Why should I go to Taranaki? What's happening there? And at the time, there wasn't a coastal walkway, there wasn't a wind wand. Pukeariki didn't exist, nor did Waimad. So the answer was pretty short. But apart from natural wonders of the mountain and the sea and a couple of festivals, there ain't much happening. But all that changed in a matter of about 5 years due to some leading individuals and a progressive council who created the lifestyle capital that we enjoy today. In the end, I promoted Taranaki to myself and I moved here in 2004. I'm still promoting the region as a publicist and a TV producer, and I'm keenly aware that we need to continue to be a progressive district as part of a progressive region. And to do that, we need a Team Taranaki approach. The 4 Taranaki councils all working together and supporting innovative businesses and tourism operators, creating the destination that we love to live in and others love to visit. For us, that starts with a united dream council that has a vision and a purpose and an ability. With my marketing and strategies, business strategy skills, I would like to put my hand up, not like that, like this, and to be part of that dream team. So let's make our place even better. Hey, look, I'll take your number 2s, as you may have seen from my billboard. All right? Thank you.
Gibson.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ngā mihi nui ki a koutou ki Wanganui tēnei hui. Ko Waio, ko Bev Gibson taku ingoa. As I said, my name is Bev. For those who know me, I'm still Bev. And it's really nice to see some Māori faces sitting in the room. Kia ora. I was born in South Taranaki, raised and schooled in Okaiawa, Normanby, and Hawera. Nigel and I have lived in New Plymouth for over 30 years. I've raised 4 children. I'm a registered nurse, and I work as an ACC rehabilitation consultant. I should say ACC quietly because I'm sure there's a few people here that don't like ACC, but they are good really. And I have a master's in management. So why am I running for council? I'm not going to be making any empty promises, right? So, but what I want to say to you is that for all residents of our beautiful city, I am tangata whenua. This is my whenua. I'm going nowhere else. Right, folks? I believe in consultation. I'm the chair of Te Korowā Ngārui Hine, and here's my cousin down in front, Peter. And if you can lead Māori, you can lead anybody. All right? It's pretty tough, eh, cousin? But in terms of Te Reo in terms of Māori, consultation is really, really important. We always get done to. I don't intend to do that to anybody else because I know how that feels. For me, it's about listening to you. God, that was quick. Okay, so my dream, though, is to leave a legacy that will enable the next generation to take the city of New Plymouth to a place where we could only imagine. Only imagine. My 3 priorities, I'm going to be really, really quick: environmental sustainability, increased tourism, and to engage better with iwi. And if you understand where iwi is today, we can be friends, really good friends, and we have putia. Tēnā koutou katoa.
Kia ora koutou katoa. My name is Irene Godkin, and my ancestry is through my mother, through my grandmother. 2 ancestors is Richard Walden from London, and he's married to the princess from the Chief of Arawa in Rangitiki. On my father's side, through my grandfather, is 2 ancestors up, and that is through the Chief of Whatatiri, who is Puki Rangiora. So kia ora koutou katoa. And it's been a great privilege and honour to be part of the campaign trail with great candidates for everyone to be part of the community, listening and hearing different views, wide views. In terms of our host today, hospitality and the Chamber of Commerce, it's a great privilege to look to the future with confidence. How many are confident about our future? Great! Vote for them! No, seriously, you know, we all have a role to play, and that is through participation, through engagement, encouraging our people in the community to let us know what it is that through council we can do a great job. Make this a great city, make this a great district, and make this a destination of choice. For myself, as my platform is building stronger relationships and building a stronger community. And to do that is through the people and the environment, as most of us, you know, survive on being human and also breathing air, good quality air, water, just basic, food, shelter. So I do encourage you to use your vote very wisely and to think about your future, our future, the next future.
Chris Hale.
Geez, it's pretty daunting, eh? This is the first time for me, so bear with me. So I'm Chris Hale. I'm 58 years old. I'm a father of 4, grandfather of 9, born and bred in Taranaki. Love the place. If you're travelling back into the region, you see the mountain, your heart beats 3 times faster as you come over through Awakino. That's me. It's something special to be from the Naki, and I believe that 110%. So I'm not as experienced as any one of these people here, but I am a ratepayer. I'm a small business owner, and I've been a contractor in Taranaki for 35 years. I'm employed here by a local business. What I want to see is open accountability for the ratepayers and for the community from NPDC. I want to see investment back into the business community in Taranaki so that they can continue to invest in the community, and the community by employment, by further investing in, further developing investment in their businesses and building their businesses for the future. Part of that is also brings in hospitality. We don't spend our money if we haven't got money to spend. So if our businesses are doing well and we're well supported by our local council, well supported by our community, that investment goes back into the hospitality trade, it goes back into every other business within town. Controlling costs, looking at open accountability for the costs and where our money's going is a start, and that's what I bring as hopefully the conduit between talking from people in the local industries, coming from a local industry background, and taking that back into council as an open conduit for you guys to pass your message back into council and to stand up for what your message actually is. Thank you.
Councillor Richard.
Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce and Hospitality New Zealand for this opportunity to talk with you this evening. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce and served as a member of their board for some years. There's a real business sense here tonight, so I want to talk about the business of council. Your council is a large and complex organisation and needs good and experienced governance. It has an annual budget of about $155 million. It runs 17 businesses and owns $3.3 billion depreciated value of infrastructure and assets. Now, the equivalent of $3.3 billion is the same as 8,250 homes from New Plymouth at an average value of $400,000 each. So this is a substantial asset base that needs to be governed. So that is the size of the investment that you as ratepayers own and that council governs for you. I've been a chair of both the Finance and Audit and Risk Committees. From a Finance Committee perspective, the council has restored the Perpetual Investment Fund, which is now climbing back to $300 million. In audit and risk, we assess risk management issues such as how do we provide clean drinking water if volcanic activity pollutes the rivers? Standard & Poor's has again reconfirmed our credit rating at the highest available to a council, and again we achieved a clear audit. I'm a JP, qualified with a business degree, a chartered member of the Institute of Directors, and was recently awarded a fellowship with the Chartered Accountants of Australia and New Zealand. I'm experienced in governance with a key eye on money management and risk management. If re-elected, I'll continue to ensure that financial management and risk management remains a key focus. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you.
Henderson.
Tēnā koutou katoa. I'm Peter Henderson, standing for the Southwest Ward. I'm an active third-generation farmer from Tataramaika near Okato, a family man, a retiree from hospitality with nearly 20 years' involvement in Pātua Lodge, a listener and a lifelong learner. I am a farmer, but also an agricultural trainer. One of our students went into a supermarket last week and he was asked by a food sampler, "What do you do?" With some pride he said, "I'm training to be a farmer." "Oh, one of those dirty polluters." Ouch. How do we deal with stuff like that? Not with confrontation, conflict and insults. This incident rammed home one of the big reasons that I'm standing for council, and it's an overarching value from Tapa Wairoa for Naonatanga, relationships. I'm particularly concerned for rural-urban relationships to be strengthened, but I know that that's only one part of our social jigsaw. Can we change relationships and build mutual respect? Yes, we can. There are already existing initiatives here in Taranaki and throughout New Zealand. It's a huge challenge, but hey, 5 years ago, who thought we would have said goodbye to single-use plastic bags by now? Things do change. With increasing honest communication between diverse groups, our district will be in a far stronger position to move forward sustainably, particularly in the identified sectors of visitors, energy future and future foods. I've worked with boards, chairing them and on them, and I cherish the notion that all voices are equal. I'm also the annoying eternal optimist that acknowledges the science that states if we approach a problem with an anticipation of a positive outcome, it's more likely to occur. Yes, I'm standing to be a voice for farmers, but farmers as part of an integrated and inclusive society.
Councillor Stacey Hitchcock.
Kia ora, tēnā tātou katoa, Stacey Hitchcock, current councillor, deputy chair of your planning committee. In a week and a half, you're going to have a big thing that's happening across the nation. It's going to get delivered to your households, and we all need your support. And that is the Rugby World Cup. Yes. Also voting papers. Now, not everyone likes rugby, but we all really hope that you like voting. But there are some parallels between the greatest rugby team in all of the world and council, and I want to tell you what they are, and they're around leadership values. The first is the All Blacks is get the basics right. And that is important for us because we need to make sure our core infrastructure is working for you as the business community. We need to make sure when you turn the tap on, there's water, that our roads are working as they should be, that there's an accessibility. We need to be a council that is an enabler, and as Councillor Hanley mentioned, we govern and we look after a lot of that infrastructure, and we've got to get that right. Second is leadership is collaborative. There may be a captain, but there's a team of leaders under that. And council is only one piece of that puzzle in this leadership. It's the business community. We are equal. It's the iwi. It's all of our communities, and we have to work collaboratively, and that will be a focus and a priority in the next term. Second is thanks to Brad Thorne, and that is champions do extra. And you see council work, and it's like businesses. You have to do extra to get ahead, to always be progressing. It's the same as council. One example of this is that we've been working on tracks and trails in the last 2 years. We identified we don't have a great walk or a great ride. So in the last few months, we've been working with a team. We're getting a Trails Trust set up. We will build the 23rd Great Ride here in Taranaki. For every dollar invested, it's a $3 return to the economy and to our hospitality and our tourism sector. It's about doing that extra work. Second is give people a purpose that is greater than themselves. When the All Blacks put on that jersey, they do it, and that is a custodian. They have to leave it in a better place than when they put it on. The team has to be in a better place. That is my value. If I get another term, or when I leave council, or when we all leave this mortal coil, we want to leave it in a better place than when we first arrived, and that is a core value. So thank you, and we look forward to your questions tonight.
Louise James.
Firstly, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here tonight. I'm standing for Building Thriving Communities. I'm born and bred in Taranaki, and I've raised my 4 children here in New Plymouth, and now they are raising theirs. I am standing for sustainability, and also I'm standing for lifestyle and for consultation. Sustainability is to cover both, well, not both, there's 4 of them: environmental, economic, social and cultural sustainability. I'm an experienced advocate. I've been an advocate for women and children for many years, and I come, and I'm not apologising for this, but I'm coming with that eye, and I'm being honest with you. That is the voice that I will be carrying when I sit on council. Regarding sustainability, I remember hearing once that if there was to be something that happened and Taranaki was blocked off from the rest of the country, it would only take 3 days to empty our supermarkets. So I believe that we need to really think about how to sustain our life here without having to rely so heavily on outside of our province, and to diversify. And I'm really excited about the government putting in money to look into new technologies here, and I know it's going to be a transitional change over for a lot of us, and I'd like to really help support that happen. Regarding lifestyle, I very much support all the different pursuits that happen here in this region, and I notice at Lake Mangamahoe that the council has been supporting the mountain bikers. I'd also like to see other sports supported as well. I was thinking of the horse trail that's out there. They're looking for funds as well, so it's not just looking at one kind of area. And I'm also for consultation, and major consultation is required in this district in a way that's face-to-face and not so much online. Thank you.
Joanne Gavard.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Kuvaji taku ingoa. Good to see some very familiar faces and some new faces. So I'm running for Mayor and Councillor of New Plymouth District Council this term. I am not going in with any policies because I'm not passionate about one or two things. I'm passionate about everything. I first and foremost am a mother of 14, but not to worry, I only gave birth to 6 of them. And I could stand here and rattle off my huge amount of qualifications. Yes, I'm a business owner. Yes, I have governance experience from being on trusts, etc., etc. But first and foremost, I'm about our people. I want to make sure that our people have a voice in council, that all decisions that are made are fully informed decisions, and that those decisions represent what our community want and what our community need. And I mean our community as a whole. That's not one race or another race. It's not dependent on what postcode they come from or what job they have, but our community as a whole. Because realistically, community engagement and total inclusion is essential for us making the best decisions for a better future for our district. So, in conclusion, I say vote Kuvaji for an honest leader and a councillor that will fight for you around that table. Thank you.
Greg McKay.
Well, I'm not probably the best spokesman at all, but I'm running for mayor as well as council. Over the years, I've looked at it and studied it, and there's a lot of things that this council doesn't do. One's our roading, one's a lot of our infrastructure that needs doing, and you see this when we go back to the roading, our state of roading, it needs to be sorted out. Our traffic flow, we don't have a traffic flow at all. We just got to go with the flow because it's not there. So all these things that they've just pushed away, they've just pushed it away. And we need to look after our place. We need to sort of stop and think of what we need to do. We need to look after all our broken pieces, all our gardening, all of the, whatever we need to do. We're just got to be, you know, there's a big list. It's just got to be done to make this place beautiful again. And this place is precious to us. And when we look at tourism, stuff like that, do you really want to see tourists coming in here looking at our run down little places and bits and pieces? We need to get it up. It's got to come up. And that's going to take a while. But we can work at it as a community. I'd also like the community to have more input into the say in the running of the council. Some of these back here might say, no, 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 no. But you do. It's our place. It belongs to us. It doesn't belong to council. It doesn't belong to the mayor, nor the councillors. So if we can all get together, then we can have a beautiful place again. But in the meantime, we may have to go without a few things that we would like to have. Thank you.
Chris Mann.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Manukonga. I was born here in age-friendly New Plymouth, and I was brought up down on the coast. I'm married to Joanne. I have 5 children, 13 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. My background is in community service and public service. I am currently the president of Grey Power in New Plymouth and chair of that committee of 9. I lead as a chair by empowerment, which means it opens up other members of the committee to step forward and take a genuine role. I'm standing, and I make no apologies, for the 50 plus and 65 plus demographic age group, which will soon be huge in our area. And the reason why is this. There are the issues facing baby boomers and seniors is health, rates, transport, housing, and socialisation. Now these things have to be met, and equitable, under the Local Government Act, we need to look at equality of how things are dispersed in our city. So therefore, what I'm saying is that, let's face it, there needs to be a voice for the baby boomers and for seniors, and I'm in that place to do that. Hospitality, the latest alcohol consumption poll that was taken, you know who you are. It was the baby boomers, right, who actually fit the bill as the most highly drinkers on that. So thank you very much.
Jonathan Marshall.
Good evening, my name is Jonathan Marshall. My motto tonight is 1, 2 or 3, vote for me. I'm a father of 6 children and 1 beautiful wife. Okay, I'm I only have 6 grandchildren. I'm still a young fellow. I have no grandchildren, great-grandchildren. So I'm still youthful, okay? But my reason for standing for council, I'm standing for the City Ward, is that I like to bring some new thoughts to the community. The issue we have is that there's some great things that are happening in our community. Okay, Rusty, good to see you, mate. There's some great things happening in our community. I love our community. I'm proud to call New Plymouth my home. The outdoor spaces we have, the places we can roam, places like Pukariki are fantastic. Can this council do better? Too right, it can do better. It can do considerably better. There was a council mark given to this council on leadership, on how it handles its finances and delivery and listening. It only got a BBB rating, so we can do a lot better. It was great at listening. Some of us might debate that, but it was great at listening because what we debate about, it was poor on delivery. I want to improve the delivery of the values that we as a community have, so that businesses like what I belong to, I'm a financial advisor, I love businesses, but the thing is, if our people come to work sad, we can't get the best out of them. And it's great that some people here have a good eye for looking at finances and that. You also need a good ear to hear what's been said so you can apply by what's been said to you. I don't come with ideas of my own. I want to come with ideas about my community. So thank you very much. My name is Jonathan Marshall. 1, 2 or 3, vote for me.
Dini Moihu.
Kia ora tātou te whānau nei, tēnei te mihi atu ki a koutou katoa. Before I begin, I would just like to say a beautiful welcome to our local kaumātua who are in attendance tonight. So, Te Mātua David, lovely to see you here, sir. Lovely to see you here. Now, I've got 2 minutes to try and convince you and razzle-dazzle you in order to vote for me as part of the council. I don't want you to just listen to me. I actually want you to feel me and what I have to say. Because when I speak with intent and conviction, compassion and passion. Why am I standing? People will ask me. It's quite simple. It's because I care. And I care enough about my community to stand. I stand with the abundance of my people, with the abundance of this community. For those who do not know who I am, for those who do not know what community work I've done for the district, what community work that I've done for the region, what charitable work that I've done for the district, what charitable work that I've done for the region, simply Google the name Dini Moihu and you will have over a decade of community advocacy, a decade of community work, a decade of community selfless commitment to our charitable organisations and to our community. I am, without a doubt, a Category 5 hurricane of hope, and I am sweeping through this region like never before. I will encourage, I will empower, I will inspire those of our community to be better, not through what I say and how I say it, but through what I do and how I do it, leading by example. I am excited as being part of this hospitality. I was born into hospitality, and I cannot wait to share that with you. Nō reira, he waka eke noa. We're all in this together. Tihei, mauri ora.
Phil Quinney.
Evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming along tonight. My name's Phil Quinney. I have been living in New Plymouth for 32 years. Married my wife Kim from Fitzroy 29 years ago. 29 years happily married. I'm happy she's married. We have 3 adult sons, all born and raised here. I'm not a current councillor, but I have served 12 years on council from 2001 to 13, 9 years under the great leadership of Peter Tennant and 3 years under the great leadership of Harry Deinhoven. Why am I standing again? People have asked me that, and I thought maybe that thought's gone through my mind as well. In recent months, I've discovered that after 6 years out of council, I've still got the passion and the desire, and I know I've got the ability to be able to make a difference for this community. What I bring to council, with your support, is an open mind, an ability to listen to all issues, to evaluate the facts, to consider their implications, and to vote according
to my evaluation of those things and to argue strongly either for or against those issues and to have the ability to convince others to support your point of view and to also have the ability, even more importantly, to be able to have your mind changed as well. I've gone into council supporting things I never thought I would, and I've come out of council not supporting things I always thought I would. Having an open mind and having that transparency for me is the most important quality you can have as a councillor, and not to have a preset determination on any issue. During that time on council, I was incredibly proud of the events that we brought to this area. I was heavily involved with Ivan Major in bringing the World Long Track Speedway Grand Prix here, with Greg Turner in the Charles Tour Golf Tournament, the ITU Triathlon, the World Surf League. We're missing that buzz. I want to get that buzz back. Maybe it's not possible to have those heady days again, but it brings so much to this community. The economic impact of those events and events at the Bowl of Brooklands and others is massive, and not just for the restaurants and the cafes and the hospitality industry. The trickle-down effect is huge. We need that vibrancy back in our community, and I want to be a part of bringing that vibrancy back to this community with your support. Thank you so much.
Dwayne Sherwood.
Good evening, everyone. I'm not much of a speaker, as Mr. and Mrs. Bublett Senior will testify to. I'm more of a listener. I'm like Al Bundy. I'm married with children. They're both adults at the moment, so they're able to vote as well. And I just want to see a decent future for them, as well as their children. And the rate we're going, the rates when they are house owners will be very high, and we need to sort of put a plateau on that and hopefully spend money more wisely so that their future is a positive one and not an expensive negative one. I'm a small business owner as well. Previously, I've been a representative of Taranaki for many different sports and representative of New Zealand as an individual sportsman. All the teams I played with, I ended up captaining, and I didn't end up being a captain because I yelled and screamed and told them what to do. I utilised what they had in their bag of tricks and got them to work together as a team. And I'd like the same to happen with the council in regard to every decision that's ever made needs to be beneficial and made with compassion for the whole community, not just individuals and so forth. Realistically, my policies are really just uniting the community through community gardens and stuff like that, so we can all have a place where we can meet and have a voice. A lot of people don't feel inclusive to maybe go to the pubs or go to the library to have a chat. So just looking at trying to get the community as a whole so we can hear from everybody. And like Phil Quinney just said, I'm happy to have my mind changed. There's things I believe in, but if other people have got better ideas on that, that's the way it should be. We should all collectively agree on it as opposed to just arguing until we're red in the face. So thanks very much.
Kia ora koutou. Sorry I'm late. I was coaching swimming. My name, New Plymouth is a stunning place with its beaches and walkways and rivers. We all know there's Mount Taranaki right at the back there. But we need more than that. We need to allow us to utilise the square footage where we have to remain the same. I know you don't know what I'm talking about, but I think customers want to linger and children want to play. We need a place where we are the customer-centred, parking is ready available and children-friendly. If we can do that, people will come, continue to come, which will mean higher profits, more business and better economy. Jobs will be created and people will remain loyal to New Plymouth. That's how I see it. But we need to be creative. We need to dream. You need to dream, you need to have a vision, and because I'm committed to that vision, I'm sure a lot of us behind me are too, because it has an impact on our future, a real impact. I am Māori, I am a Rarotongan Tahitian, I'm married with 7 children. I'm from Waitara, worked in the West like most of us. But when they closed the freezing works down, I had to do something different. So I went to university and I studied. You know, people, I want to be at that table. My name is Bill Simpson. I'm standing for Mayor and for North Ward. I want to be at the table to review all the agencies responsible for carrying out the work for the New Plymouth District Council, including the financial policies and codes. I want to be at the table so the Waitara leaseholders' predicament to freehold can be sorted. The role of Māori, what is the role of Māori? Iwi, hapu, us as individuals, what is our role? I'd like to think we could start talking around amalgamation of the 4 councils again. Upgrading recreational areas to the world standard, funding of community boards. I think they're really important issues that we need to be talking about. Community engagement, your vision, my community, our future. I will bring a new type of leadership. Thank you very much. Kia ora tātou.
Jack Newsom.
Kanakwe. Good evening. Thank you for coming along tonight, and it's good that we can meet with you, build relationships. I love New Plymouth, and I think that New Plymouth has got a lot going for it. We should be the energy centre of New Zealand and probably the world when it comes to our environment and with regard to, give me a moment because it's my first or second time speaking. So with the energy that's going on, I'm a dairy farmer. Sally and I have moved off our dairy farm into New Plymouth and Balblock, and I have 3 sons. I'll get out my notes. Churn up my 2 minutes, don't I? I've spent many years dairy farming. I hold a trade certificate in building and a diploma in real estate. Town and Country Realty is our company. Sally and I have 2 holiday homes and Airbnbs, and I know this for the hospitality industry. This is an issue because there are 270 Airbnbs in New Plymouth and probably 140 holiday homes, and these homes don't pay commercial rates, and I know that's a big factor in your budget on your business, and I would see that if we put rates on holiday homes and Airbnbs, then we should put it on the 6,000 to 8,000 rental properties in New Plymouth as well. Thank you.
Howie Timothy.
Oku rangatira, wahine mā, tāne mā, tēnā koutou, tēnā tata katoa. Ku rangatira, tēnei te mihi kia koutou katoa. My name is Howie Tamati. I've been District Councillor 5 terms. I stood down a couple of times during that time, and I managed to get re-elected back on the chamber. Like Phil, I went through the exciting times of Peter Tennant, and also the time of a number of other really good mayors. I actually think I don't bag anybody, to be honest with you. I'd just like to acknowledge the Chamber of Commerce though, and for putting on the evening. I looked at your vision, your mission statement, create a strong and vibrant Taranaki business community, and so do I. I really believe in that. You people, I have the greatest admiration for anyone that owns a business, and and you put your bums on the line and you go to work every day and you work really, really hard. So we were fortunate enough at Sport Taranaki when I was a CEO to win the small to medium business award, and that was a great honour from the Chamber of Commerce and part of the good work that they do for you. But my vision is to support your vision in the district. I'm interested in ensuring that the CBD stays busy and popular. Oh, I better change go right to the end. I was too busy complimenting you all. My key interest is in sport and recreation in the community, and I've got an issue with the Yarrow Stadium and the rates that we have to pay. I think sport has a really, really good ability to enthuse this area and the events and programs and tournaments that we could attract here through tourism. That's really, really important. I bring a different point of view in inclusiveness and diversity, and that's been proven value in the council. I'd just like to say that I think the New Plymouth District Council, has done well, and I think under the progress, made good progress under me and Neil Holdham. And as I walk back, we should see some really good things.
Deb Tower.
Good evening, I'm Deb Tawa for those who don't know me. I'm lucky enough to actually be involved in both the Chamber of Commerce and Hospitality New Zealand. I'm on the board of one and the committee of the other, so it's pretty cool to actually be speaking here to a group of people interested in both things that I love and am involved in. I currently own a motel in Fitzroy and in the past have owned a couple of motels in the CBD. So I am, very passionate about the business side of New Plymouth. CBD is one of my pet loves because that was my kids' background basically. They would wander downtown. Most people would be freaked out about that, but it was a block away and away they went. So the CBD is really important to me as far as vibrancy and continued growth. My tagline at the moment is dedicated to progress, committed to community. So progress is really important. We can never look back. We always have to move forward. And I think it's really important that the business part of the community, that's where the growth happens. We employ the people, and it's really important. The dedicated to community, I've actually been involved in quite a lot of different community things. I'm a Rotary, I'm a JP, and I'm on the Chamber of Commerce, and I was lucky enough to actually be involved in the building of the facility out in Waitara. Over the last couple of years, we've got that fantastic facility. So my heart is definitely with this community. I'm born and bred Taranaki. I've got two children who are way smarter than I am, but that may maybe mean I've done a great job. So I bring a very pragmatic view to life. Everything that I do is, about making sensible decisions, and I think that will be really important around the council table. That's one of the main things that I think I'll bring. Prepared to have the hard discussions with people so that I make informed decisions when it comes to making, for the whole community, it's got to be what's right for everybody. I learnt that the hard way out on the committee in Waitara, where I went in with a view of one thing and very quickly learnt another. So open-minded, and thanks very much. Don't want to get beeped again because that's not cool.
Selwyn Watkins.
Good to get to the W's. No Z's? No. I actually look forward to addressing you people because you're the people who make the choices, the hard choices that happen every day, the ones where your butt's on the line, and of course you have a great interest in what goes on in council. So I would like to tell you that when you make a deputation to the council, you have three things that's going to happen. You're going to inform the councillors, you're going to inform all the officers, because they don't always hear from you, and also to the public, because you're likely to get reported. So I can assure you that if I was there, I would be listening to you. Academic things are very useful to have, and I've got a master's degree in business. But of course, what that does, it trains you to ask questions, and we don't ask enough questions, and we must do so. And all councillors should be really at that. So Basically, I'm a generalist. I haven't heard anyone say generalist, but I see being a generalist is much more useful than being a specialist in some ways, because we've got plenty of them. So, what we need is a major project, and I want you to help stop me the horse racing and training on the raceway. It's time they left, and it's time we replaced it with something better. And this is going to take some real guts from the councillors to stand up to this situation, but because there's a long history in this. But by helping me remove people for the racing from the thing, they've got other places to go to, by the way. It's not awful. I want to open an open park. I want to make a place which is a clean slate for everybody here to actually do what they want on the race course. We've heard lots about the sport and where they're going. And we've heard lots about community things. I've even had people wanting a training pool. There's so much we could do if there was nobody there. So basically, it's a hard choice for councillors, and you need people who can really take it to the thing and make a firm decision.
Councillor Gordon Brown, welcome.
Thank you, everybody. Apologies for lateness. Councillor Dienhoven, myself, and Deputy Mayor Richard Jordan, who's on his way, have been at a council meeting. It only lasted 3 hours, 10 minutes, and for anyone thinking of pulling out from council, I can recommend the video of it, which is online. It was a grueling night, but hey, we do the hard yards as well. But look, thank you for the opportunity. This is the third candidates meeting I've been to. It's the fourth time I've stood for council, and already there have been 2 more council meetings than there ever have been before. And it's great that the Chamber of Commerce and Hospitality New Zealand are giving us all the oxygen, so you can get to know us a bit, know what we stand for. And look, I don't mind having a scrap, and sometimes that's what you've got to do at council. Sometimes you've got to make hard decisions. Sometimes you've got to disagree with your colleagues, but you try and persuade them to your way of thinking. I love the fact that some of my colleagues have so much vision and they create things, and that's great. But I'm the guy who sits around the table and says, that's fine, how much is it going to cost? And every council needs a couple of those people, because we deal in reality. Dreams are free, but not if ratepayers have to pay for them. And we've got some big ticket items. I don't even have to mention Yarrow Stadium in the next 25 years, or the airport, but I've fought them both and will continue to do so on your behalf, the sheer cost. Thank you very much.
Councillor Harry Dienhoven.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, like Gordon, I give you my apology for not being here to hear all of your wonderful speeches. It's very straightforward, really. You read all of the information and you make the best decisions you can. Having had the debate with your colleagues, and Gordon and I sometimes agree, sometimes we disagree. We probably agree on a lot more than we disagree on, and that's the case with most councillors. We all have an obligation to our community to take into account the views of the community and to actually listen to the community and be out there finding out about issues. But in the end, it comes down to councillors to make the decision. My only promise to you as a councillor is to do the very best job I can for the people of New Plymouth and our district. And I think if we start from that basis, we've got a good chance of reaching compromise and arriving at a good decision on behalf of the community. We have a wonderful district, there is no doubt about it. I'm born here, brought up here, this is home. And I love the place. And I fought very, very hard for this district at all sorts of levels. A gentleman before was talking about qualifications. I've got a master's degree in public policy. Whether that's useful or not, I'm not quite sure. but it does give me a theoretical background as well as the practical background of having represented this district in various ways for the last 30 or so years. But what we have is a bunch of new councillors coming. We have at least 5 new councillors coming. So we are going to need as well experienced councillors in the mix. That's what I offer you. Thank you.
Councillor Richard Jordan.
Firstly, my apologies to you people. I didn't come in here to talk. It's all good. Sincere apologies. Who am I? I'm Richard Jordan. I'm pale. I'm male. What else am I? Hello, Peter. But I'm not stale. Okay. I'm proud. The pale part comes because I've got an English-Swiss heritage. We came here in 1859. The male part, I wasn't any part of that. That was pre-described. Yeah. But I'm not stale. I'm married. I've got 4 grown-up children. I've got 12 grandchildren. You'd never believe it looking at you, I know, but that's okay. I'm a toy maker from Inglewood. I was a dairy farmer, so my chosen career was dairy farming. I've been involved with dairy industry politics for a long time. I've been involved with local body politics for a long time. 18 years on the Inglewood Community Board, 6 years on the New Plymouth District Council as a councillor, and the last 3 years as your Deputy Mayor. And I'm proud of Taranaki, New Plymouth. You could not get a better place to live. You should never ever worry about that. This is the best place in New Zealand to live and probably in the world. I'm down to earth, I'm practical, I'm realistic. My background brings a wealth of experience in different disciplines. I have energy and a passion for the district. I have a vision for New Plymouth district that is a fantastic place to live and raise a family, an environment where business can flourish, where people are valued, and where the outdoors are treasured, cared for, and easily accessible. We need to build a lifestyle capital. We are doing that. We're also looking after our infrastructure. We were shocked last year with Cyclone Gita. We have made adjustments. We are spending some of your money making that infrastructure more resilient. That has to be done. It's not an option. It has to be done. Thank you.
She gets a bit stroppy, doesn't she? Hey, look, thank you guys. It's certainly a privilege to sit here and listen to your passion and your visions for our great city and district. And we're very lucky we've got councillors who are standing and budding new councillors who will make a huge and a continuation of this great district, and we look forward to you being part of it. But now we break for 10 minutes sharp, just for a quick drink and a pit stop, and we'll go back and we'll get straight into some good old-fashioned questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.